I need you. I'll keep you strong, I know, but I'll be scared to show myself. Don't let me go.
What's up, y'all? It's the Young Avell here, back at it with another video. Welcome to the Sunday sermon. We got some game here for you today. Back here at this immaculate environment, and we got some game, man. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just wanted to talk about some important things when it comes to this lifestyle of retention, because like you guys know, there are tons of benefits of retention. So today we're going to talk about 3 specific things that you actually lose when you give up the vital force. Now, we already know you got to stay away from the screen. My boy behind the camera came up with an immaculate phrase that the brain is such a terrible thing to waste, and the screen is a terrible thing to chase.
Yeah, man.
And I gotta agree with that, right? So I remember back when I was first starting the no-fap semen retention journey, I came across this channeled message from a specific source that brought about these things that you lose when you release the seed. Because we all have felt whenever you release the seed, you do feel a little bit of that shame or that guilt or something. Like, you got to ask yourself, what does that come from? Why do I feel that way, right? So these 3 things that you lose when you release: creativity, courage, and confidence. 3 very important C's, the 3 C's: courage, confidence, and creativity. Now, the reason that you lose those things is obviously because a man's semen is his life force. His life force is the easiest thing you can do with it is create a baby, right? That's the easiest thing. You can do that, no responsibility. You can do that easily. So when you release that, it just shows how powerful the essence of a man is. So on the flip, when you retain that, that's why you feel that glow. That's why all of a sudden, when I'm working on music, I got songs and downloads coming through me. Pause. My creativity is going through the roof. My courage, my confidence, you got that thing where you can look people in the eyes for longer periods of time. You got that courage. You put yourself in situations. You put yourself in situations that you wouldn't normally put yourself in. And that's another thing why testosterone is called the success hormone. Remember, testosterone is in your life force. So it's really the essence of the life force that is behind testosterone being called the success hormone. So it's very important that you guys get yourself to live a lifestyle where you don't sacrifice these portions of yourself so easily. Because like my boy said, the screen is a terrible thing to chase. And if you're giving up your courage, confidence, and your creativity to a blank screen, you're going to walk around feeling like a ghost in a shell, just like we were talking about the other day. The ghost in the shell, you're walking around as a shell of your former self, and it takes time for your body to build that back up again. So why not keep that in and then go about life, and you have all this energy that you could play with when it comes to your life. So I wanted to do something a little different. My boy behind the camera, he has a lot of great questions that he asks sometimes. And by the way, this is my barber who I mentioned many times. We have great dialogue, so we're trying something new. We got new camera lens. So Ty, tell me what you got on your mind, brother. What you got on your mind?
Yeah, man. I want to know why the screen is so addicting in the first place. Why can't I fight this addiction?
That's a good question, because a lot of us are facing that. And like all addictions, it's basically has everything to do with your dopamine receptors. The screen is such a powerful influx of dopamine on your brain. It's kind of like heroin or like an extreme drug that gives you a large reward for not doing any work. Because remember, dopamine is your reward system in your brain. And the moment you open up the screen, you hijack that reward system to receive an excessive amount of reward for doing 0 work. So remember, humans are inherently lazy. So we're trying to see what's the most optimal way that we can get said reward. Now, if you can feel that goodness and feel that validity off of just not doing anything and opening up a black screen, you're going to get addicted to that because your brain's going to say, yo, I love this. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing it. That's why as soon as you hit that website, you feel it. And now, next thing you know, you're in an addiction for the next 15 years.
Okay, my next question is, why does the screen seems like it shows me abundance on the internet, but my life doesn't reflect the abundance of the screen?
It's simple. Your vibration. Listen, what you put out is what you get back. So when you're on the screen, you are actually lowering your vibration. You're not living that abundant life that you may see and that your brain thinks that it's living. You are lowering your vibration. And like I said in other videos, I promise you this, fellas, guys, I'm pretty sure this is it. You are opening up yourself to be accessed by lower vibrational beings. Like, I can't tell you how many times that in the past, when I used to go on the screen, I would literally feel like something is behind me as I'm looking at these videos. And mind you, when you turn off that screen, that thing ain't leaving still. That thing's still on you, you know? Sometimes I've even had dreams where they come into the dream and try to make me afraid and stuff like that. So that's the type of stuff that you're putting out there, and that's the type of energy that you're attracting. So your life is just going to reflect that low vibrational state. So you got to stay away from that screen, man.
Okay. So my next question is, do you feel like women can sense that I've been on the screen? Like, could society sense that? Like, why don't I get attention, or why am I invisible after I'm on the screen?
You are invisible. You feel invisible because you are invisible when you're on the screen and you go out into the world. Like, that's why we feel that shame, right? You feel that shame and you're like, damn, I can't even look at people in the eye. I can't even look up at the sky for too long. That's how bad I feel. It's something that you kind of internally project onto yourself, where it's like you could be walking around like this just after you got off of the screen, but inside you really walking like this, right? And people can sense that vibrationally. People can sense that because we are feeling type of beings. Like, we can sense things. You got other facilities that are natural to you in terms of being a human. So when you go out into the world, people can sense what has just stuck on you. You feel me? And like, when you're on the screen and you feel that shame, you're kind of emanating that guilt, that shame pretty powerfully, you know, because deep down, you know that you shouldn't have done that. You know that you're better than that. You know that there are better ways to go about getting your dopamine, but yet you chose to take the easy way out, and you chose to be weak at the end of the day. So you kind of don't want people to see that side of you, but you got to be social. So you're kind of in the social world hiding like this, you know, and people can sense that, man. So
I have another interesting question.
What you got? This will be the last question too. What you got?
Okay. When I was in the 6th grade and I went into sex ed, my teacher, who had a gut, glasses, balding, seemed depressed, he taught me in sex ed that we're supposed to masturbate and release. It's a healthy system. Why did he tell me that? Because this is what I became today off him telling me that.
You know what's funny, man? Like, me and my buddy were just talking about this because he sent me a video earlier about how some of these red pill dudes are like, yo, you're going to have prostate cancer and all this stuff. You need to masturbate. You need to da-da-da-da release and all this type, have sex and all that type of stuff. Basically not retain. And retaining is bad for you. Look at how that guy is living. Do you want to take his advice? It's like taking fitness advice from a fat guy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch out for people like that. And you got to be even more mindful of dudes that look successful, but they're still pushing, no, release. Like, you're fine. You need to da-da-da-da-da. For whatever reason, and it's probably this, right? Like, they've done the work in certain areas to raise their status such that they are getting women, and they don't want to they don't want to walk that hard path of retaining now. You know, that's just the honest truth of it, because there is no hard science that says that retention is bad. How many ancient shamans, and I have a video, one of my favorite videos that I've ever made is called Semen Retention and the Great Sages, where I talk about great spiritual personalities who are spiritually great because they retain the seed. And guess what? They live long, healthy lives and they're fine. Not only that, they were able to do incredible things. So mainstream science is built to keep men weak. All right. So you got to be mindful who you guys are taking advice from. So like I said, if you're taking fitness advice from a fat slob, check your sources.
I have a last question. So you're telling me if I retain, I will receive more confidence, more dopamine, and walk around society with a little bit more honor than I originally had.
That's exactly right, man. And I'm going to do you one better. If you don't take my advice. If you don't believe me, walk the path yourself and you will see, because these are just my words. Once you're in the path, once you see that the results and you see the people and you feel that you can stare at people in the eyes, people are like, I don't know what it is. It's just something about you. But deep down, you know exactly what it is. It's the retention. So that's all I'll say for you guys today. That's the sermon. I hope you guys have been doing well. Thank you for tuning in. It's a cool little different type of video. As usual, guys, if you got anything from this video, be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Like I always say, guys, till next time, remember, a greater perspective can lead to a greater connection. Peace.
Nobody's hero. Although I'll give it till I got nothing left. Would you say